bubbling situation in Vancouver. Vancouver, who have had a pretty good start, I would say. They're fourth in the division, but, it's not like they're out of it. Everybody else has 32 games played. They're the fourth of four. Mm-hmm. I would have figured that they would be higher than that. The LA Kings have surprised a lot of people this year with how strong they've been. Mm-hmm. But there is, first off, the goal differential is exactly 0, which is hilarious. They've scored as many goals as they've allowed.
Amazing. They've
had good goaltending from Kevin Lankinen. Thatcher Demko is back. You would expect things to be looking a little bit better, but the seeming problem is that JT Miller coming back presents a problem with Elias Pettersson. And Bruce Boudreau was speaking on TSN yesterday and talked about the fact that he was aware of that situation when he became the head coach there. And he said,
so that's quite some time.
And he said the only thing he really said is that it's A, on the coach to figure it out. Mm-hmm. B, he thought it would be smoothed over by the time he got there. And clearly 2 years later, it's still not smoothed over. How long can you have? Because back before in the long time ago, it was Bo Horvat versus JT Miller, right? Mm-hmm. Remember? Mm-hmm. And
Luke Shen versus JT Miller,
and JT Miller was almost traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins at the deadline. The Penguins just could not make the salary cap work. That almost happened, and then Vancouver keeps him. They trade Horvat the next year. And, they went on a great playoff run last year. They could still this year. I'm curious as to how long you can have two guys. I don't know what the issue is between the two of them.
I don't know either.
I don't know that that's ever been reported, but they seem to just be like oil and water. How much longer can your two better players deal with that? And who's, at a certain point, it becomes, other than Quinn Hughes, whose team is this?
Well. Adam Wylde asking the right questions. Ooh, because it's on the coach. It's on your captain too. Mm-hmm. That's a young captain. Mm-hmm. That's a tricky one. Like, I remember being in St. Louis just prior to COVID. I was at the All-Star game, and it was funny seeing the difference between sophomore Elias Pettersson and rookie Quinn Hughes, because they were both there. Mm-hmm. Rookie Quinn Hughes was asked, I think it was like, who's the strangest guy on the team or something like that. It was like one of those questions giving you an opportunity to make fun of one of your teammates. And Quinn Hughes goes, I don't know. They're all a bunch of good guys. He's a bashful little kid. Elias Pettersson walks in the room. I go, who's your strangest teammate? He goes, Quinn Hughes. Like, it's weird to me that Quinn Hughes is younger than both those guys.
Yep.
Right? They were magic when they were united on the penalty kill. Mm-hmm. Like when they were first united on the penalty kill, it was like having a power play. It was insane. And I guess what I would suggest to Rick Tocchet is next time they play, you put them in a quadruple XL jersey and you call them Get Along Of or something. And it's their get along jersey. If you're going to, what are you going to do? Win a JT Miller trade? What are you going to do? Win an Elias Pettersson trade?
You're not.
All right. So you got, I'm forcing them to have Christmas together. I'm forcing them to, they play on the same line. I make it so that they do not play NHL minutes unless it's with each other. What do you do? What do you do? You're not. I don't understand how, whatever they have between them, I don't understand how they don't see the opportunity in front of them. Mm-hmm. Whether it's Elias, whether it's JT, your opportunity to win a Stanley Cup is with each other. You could have done it last year.
Yep.
You really could have done it last year. If I keep saying, if Brock Besser played Game 7 against the Oilers.
Yeah, yep, 100%. That series, people forget how close that series was.
As unstoppable as the Oilers looked at times, boy, that was winnable. That was winnable. And like the worst, he was so friggin' hot, and it was brutal for them. Your opportunity for success in this league is with each other. You got to figure it out.
Elias Pettersson had 89 points last year. JT Miller had 103. This year in 32, Pettersson's got 26. JT Miller in 22, because he's missed obviously about 10, 15 games. He's got 19 points. So both of them are trailing their point per game totals last year.
Still good players.
Still good players. Still kind of have to make it work, right? You can't, like, if you're going to make a move like that, if you do decide to make that move, it has to be off season, right? And you have to be confident of signing somebody else or doing a 1-for-1 with another really expensive, high-priced player.
You know who used to be a Ranger? JT Miller.
Well, what are you getting back,
Let's
though?
cook with gas.
New York's got enough to send back the other way. It's an interesting proposal to send out JT Miller, because it appears like he's been a large common denominator in the interactions that have been very testy in that locker room. Like, the locker room wasn't great under Jim Benning. It seems like people got away with whatever they wanted to do. And then we have JT Miller screaming at Luke Shen on the ice in the middle of a game, just casually. Then
Connor Garland getting in between them, which for some reason always makes me laugh.
Then we have like rumors of something going on with him and Horvat, and then Horvat's obviously traded. And then we have earlier this season during a practice, I was looking at some of this GT Miller stuff coming out, and I was reminded that this happened. Like, him and Pettersson got into a little bit of a shoving match, and he cross-checked him during practice. And then he takes his leave of absence. I don't know what the reason for that leave of absence is. And then he comes back, and then we get all these rumors. So I'm not putting blame on any situation here, but on anyone in this situation, but it definitely seems like JT Miller he runs hot. Whether it's because he wants to win really badly, and because that's his way of motivating the guys, or if that's just how he is day to day. I don't know the man. But they need to fix whatever's going on here, because these things are good for a locker room when you're winning. If that's working the way he's trying to motivate people, then awesome. Cross-check everybody at practice if it leads to a win. But right now, you're getting a poor performance against Vegas, who you're looking at as this is our competition, who we need to get through if we want to do anything in the Western Conference here in the playoffs. And you're getting poor performances there. And like, Pete is getting taken off PP1, and they can't even be on the same ice together.
Like, that's not okay.
Well,
it's
and how long
stuff.
can that last, though, right?
It's
That's
crazy stuff.
So, here, Elliot Friedman made a very interesting point about when JT Miller came back. It's amazing how quickly the narrative's changed, because when he came back, it was like, oh, isn't that great? It's so good that he's back. And now we're right back to, there's problems.
Well, it's not like they would go away.
But the point Elliot made is JT is like, you have like a team's spiritual leader. Mm-hmm. You have a team's like, on ice leader. They're the best hockey player or whatever. And then you have like an emotional leader, and he's their emotional leader. And I can't imagine it's good for your team when the dude who gets your team the most pumped up hates probably your best player. Well, okay, Quinn Hughes is alive. Best forward, the guy who has the potential to be your best forward, in Elias Pettersson. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It can't happen.
This feels like a Winnipeg
in front of them is to win together.
This feels like a Winnipeg Scheifele-Wheeler situation, except that Scheifele and Wheeler liked each other. Just nobody liked them. and that this is, so it's interesting, right? Like, I do think.
And where did Wheeler go?
New York.
Yeah. How does James Dolan not look at JT Miller and go, hey, that's me on skates?
Well,
you're kind of out there. All right, let's party.
Here are the common denominator. Obviously, it was Horvat versus Miller, and then it was playing defense versus Miller, and then it was the Vancouver media versus Miller. Mm-hmm. And now it's Pettersson versus Miller, and this has been going on for 2 years. Some people are just prickly. And just like coaches, some players wear out their welcome. And I wonder if JT Miller and the Vancouver Canucks are both coming to the same conclusion of, I don't know how this ends, but it kind of needs to. And I don't know how much longer. Maybe they can put it aside for the playoffs and deal with it in the summer. Yeah. But they better start performing and showing that they can. Otherwise, what's Jim Rutherford going to do?
It becomes here we go again very quickly.
Yeah. And they're too good to be not playing that.
They're both unbelievable players.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What did you have on the screen there, Jesse?
Nothing.
Oh, I I wanted.
I had Oliver Wahlstrom waiver claims.
Oh, never mind. I don't have my glasses on. I thought you had a Canucks tweet.
No. Oliver was just looking at when
Maybe they should get him.
When Boston took Wahlstrom and he played that game.
So you're suggesting
was it last night against Edmonton?
The Canucks do Miller for Wallstrom?
Yes, I think
Got it.
1-for-1 Wahlstrom to the Bruins, or Wahlstrom from the Bruins to the Canucks, and they make a little move there.
I think there are dumber phone calls you can make than Vancouver to New York and New York to Vancouver.
You honestly might be onto something.
I think you are.
DJ Zbad hooking up with his Team Sweden teammate. There we go.
I think JT Miller might be what they need in New York.
You know, the great thing about best on best tournaments, like I again, there was another Christmas episode that's not up yet, but I talked about the value of playing with exclusively the best players in the world. That's going to bring to teams. You know what else? All these guys are going to play together, and I wonder if it adds an extra push to, hey, this guy's great.
Yeah.
This guy's, and not just he's great, he makes me better. This guy's magic.
Right.
What if, like, Zibanejad, I assume, is on Team Sweden.
Yes, of course.
And Pedersen, I assume, is on Team Sweden.
Yes.
What if there's magic there? What if, I'm trying to think, are there American players on the Rangers? Isn't Trocheck? Trocheck and Kreider.
Yeah, there are.
I don't know. Might be something there.
I'm trying to go through the Rolodex in my mind of the last couple trades where it was not trading for hockey reasons, but trading just because this guy can't be here reasons. Evander Kane, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest one. Corey Perry with the contract termination is just you couldn't be here because of everything that involved with the Corey Perry situation. But that's a little different.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot different. Yeah.
It's you can't be here, so we can't have you on the team for not because we don't think you could have been useful on the ice. I think there's parallels there.
Kane in Winnipeg's a good one.
Yeah, Kane for sure. And I don't even know, like Kane in San Jose too, like when they terminated his contract. But that's also like the Corey Perry situation. Nazem Kadri in Toronto was definitely, we want Kadri, but you are detrimental to this organization because you keep getting suspended.
Yeah.
And there was off-ice issues where he got yelled at by Lou Lamoriello as well, privately.
Yeah. Early career Nazem Kadri was a problem.
And I think that accumulated to a point where it was, you can't be here anymore and we need to move you. Even though like Kadri would have been great for the Leafs if he could have solved all that stuff. So
won a cup.
It's not very common, I guess, in the NHL,
It's
but
rare.
the JT Miller situation might come to a head where it's just like, we don't need your personality here anymore. We got to move you. I don't know if you got any in your mind, Steve. You're better at this stuff.
Does he own a tracksuit?
Miller?
Because I have a way to solve this real fast.
Can you think of any?
Maybe he's the first guy to yell back at James Dolan when he gets to New York.
Yeah, and James would be like, "You're captain."
I respect that.
I respect that.
There's probably been a couple too that we just don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Probably not even a couple, like a lot.
Yeah.